gentlemen of the press, my name is Senator Ibrahim Danbaba, and I represent Sokoto South Senatorial District. I'm a member of the Senate Committee on Army and also the Deputy Minority Whip of the Senate. What prompted this press conference is in reaction to what transpired not too long ago when we were invited for a meeting by the Committee on Nigerian Army. For the avoidance of doubt, the meeting, based on the agenda that was transmitted to us at the venue of the meeting, is to have an interactive session with Commander, Training and Doctrine Command of the Nigerian Army. I was there along with some members of the committee. The vice chairman was there as acting chairman because the chairman is unavoidably absent. We were asked to, in fact, I was a little bit late for the meeting because we were having another meeting of leadership. So by the time I came, the commandant had already briefed the committee. But the purpose of the meeting, based on what I have seen here on the agenda, was for the Commandant, Training and Doctrine Command, Nigerian Army, to brief the members of the committee. Now, after the briefing, members of the committee were given the chance to make their comments. Some of us made their own comments. In fact, by the time I got into the committee room, members were making their comments. So, one of our senators, in the person of Senator Mpigi from Rivers, raised an issue of lopsidedness of recruitment by the Nigerian Army. So I also raised my hand, wanting to add weight or lend my weight to his comment. And I said, this comment that he made was very pertinent. It has been a comment that has been on and on in the 8th National Assembly. In the 8th National Assembly, I was the vice chairman of the Senate Committee on Army. And I know that we wrote the Army severally to give us statistics on how recruitment process was being undertaken by the Nigerian Army. Because there had been complaints from various states and sections of the country, that some of the sections of the country, including, in fact, the section where the chairman came from, Senator George Akumi, and my own state, Sokoto State, were marginalized. So that issue has never been responded to by the Nigerian Army. It is part of the oversight process of the committee to ensure that whatever is to be done should be done to ensure justice. The Nigerian Army, like any institution of government in Nigeria, is supposed to comply with provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. And that Constitution has made it very clear that the issue of federal character and representation is paramount. It's a constitutional issue, so you cannot overlook it. You cannot put it under the carpet. So I raised an issue. I said, the senator who spoke on the lopsidedness of this recruitment process is right. And therefore, since we have been asking, let us once more ask for these statistics so that we'll be able to know whether what the general was saying, that there has never been any lopsidedness in their recruitment, whether it is a matter of fact or just a matter of, not speculation, whether it is just a matter of, voicing out his opinion, but not really based on facts. As that was being my response, the acting chairman said, no, this is not our mandate. I took offense of that. It's our mandate. The committee, as Committee on Nigerian Army, we are supposed to oversight them. We are supposed to see to it that whatever responsibility that Nigerian Army has must seriously, must ensure that that responsibility is carried to the letter. So honestly, that is what I want members of the public to know, and the press, that as a leader in the National Assembly and as a member of that committee, no chairman has the authority to gag any member of the committee in what any member wants to say. The least that could have been done was for the chair to ask for an executive session if he was not comfortable with the way the matter was presented, but not to shut down members. Nobody. He has no such authority. In fact, I have more ranking than he has, and I'm in the leadership. So that is my position, and I think it is important that Nigerians should know the position. That while we are trying to ensure, I'm not blaming the army. The army has been performing very well, but at the same time, the issue of recruitment is very, very important. I feel offended because I know many at times when slots were allocated, they always find ways of tactfully, disqualifying those people in the last minute and replacing them with some other people, So that is why I felt it is very important that this matter should be let out of the box. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, what the acting chairman just said, yes. He went for another committee meeting. They are not offended with any issue.
Sorry?
What he said, the acting chairman, that he went for another meeting.
Stormed out because I was angry. That is not the position. I never spoke with him. Anyway, you are not in the meeting room for you to be able to know. I did not take excuse from him to go for any other meeting. There is no cover up as far as this matter is concerned. The truth of the matter was he prevented the army from responding to issues that Mpigi and I raised. And I felt very bad. It was Mpigi and myself that left the meeting.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
We went to a meeting, and then an issue arose, and the chairman of the committee addresses it, and somebody goes out. They say he went out in anger, walked out in anger. If he walked out in anger, and then I said, look, there was nothing to be angry about. You asked the right person the wrong question, and as chairman of that committee, I ruled that the man should not answer the question. Is it abnormal? Now, you are asking a question of lopsided recruitment in the army. The man said, look, there is no lopsidedness in the army. That what happens in recruitment is that states are allotted numbers. So, where would the lopsidedness come from? Now, another person now starts and says he wants to emphasize on that question that man asked on lopsidedness and the rest of it. And I say, hey, I allowed that man to answer that question because I didn't want to cut my colleague short. Otherwise, this man is Commander, Training and Doctrine. You're asking a question on recruitment. It's not it now. As a member of that committee, I'm aware that we had confronted the Chief of Army Staff before on the issue of recruitment. It's recruitment that is a problem. My candidate was not taken. That is what his problem is. The Danbaba that they are talking about now, at least he said one of his candidates was taken. Me, since I have been here, 3 that I have submitted for 3 years, they have not taken one from me. I'm deputy chairman of that committee. And he was deputy chairman of Army Committee before. So why would you want to go and put Commander, Training and Doctrine? in the mix of recruitment numbers. The man wouldn't know. And then, anyway, I don't want to say certain things because it's my colleague. Otherwise, I think if you want me to talk, I'll talk.
Sir, distinguished, but one of the issues he raised was that in 8th Senate, they wrote to Army on this issue of recruitment to give them the statistics. But and that they did not respond to that. And he mentioned specifically that under recruitment, Benue and Sokoto states were denied of their slot. And that today they've not cleared that was why he wanted to know from the man himself. Because he's the one in charge.
Okay, this is off record. Between me and you. This is off record. But the point I made there is very clear. I was chairman of that committee at that time. And the question that was not relevant to the content of the meeting. We have the agenda of the meeting. So I can't rule you out of order. And I ruled him out of order because he was asking the Commandant Training and Doctrine a question on recruitment. And the man is only giving people to train. He doesn't recruit. And I'm on good record that the committee had previously talked to the Chief of Army Staff on the recruitment policy of the Army and the fact that members of the Senate Committee have not been carried along because their candidates have not been taken. And the man explained, said, one, there are processes. There are processes, starting from physical to medical to whatever. And that if we gave them candidates that didn't meet those requirements, they will have no choice but not to pick other people that are better qualified. He knows. So why was he raising it here before an innocent person today again?
Thank you, sir.
Huh?
Thank you, sir.
Nigerian Army. Can that man answer questions on recruitment? We didn't call him to embarrass him. Because if he is allowed to continue from there, the likelihood is that somebody is going to ask him what are the numbers per state. How will he know? He's not in charge of recruitment. He's in charge of training and doctrine. And I think it is within my legitimate power as the chairman presiding to rule anybody who was asking any questions out of order. Questions on recruitment. And he had said the reason why some of our candidates didn't skate through is because some of them fail at physical, at a height level or at medical level. You know? And we pleaded with him that in that situation, he should ask us to replace them with other qualified persons. And he agreed. So why was he coming up here again? Yeah? And let me tell you, and like I told you there, I was Minister of Interior. And people complained about lopsidedness in recruitment and the rest of them. And I said, look, the fact that we want to balance positions in Nigeria does not mean that we must compromise merit and desire. So if you advertise for immigration, it's not everybody that wants to wear uniform. And particularly the army situation. It's not everybody who wants to be a soldier. Many people don't like uniform jobs. So if we allocate, for instance, 50 places for Sokoto State, and they don't apply. I remember at that time in immigration, only 1 or 2 persons applied from Zamfara. They don't want. Do you throw away those slots? No, you don't. We had to meet with the Federal Character Commission to decide on how to do it. There is another state, Ebonyi. Ebonyi wasn't forthcoming. Ebonyi also had the least number at that time. But their people were not applying. So what do? If you have a number to employ, and some states don't come forward with this, and like the soldier was saying, he said, look, that they had to call state secretaries of government to ask their people to apply and report. But they won't. You know? So if that was a source of anger for anybody, it's unfortunate.